I was a teacher for 35 years. Here's a 3-point lesson for you. Number one, Minnesotans vote more often than the national average. Number two, labor union members vote more often than most Minnesotans. And three, retirees, labor retirees vote more often than active union members. We take our public policy issues seriously.
Over the years, we have constantly had a very politically active organization that's especially vigorous during the election years. And kind of from the beginning, we have tried to include training efforts along with our political action reach out during the election year. And there have been a number of efforts like that we have done, but one of the really good ones, and I think probably the most successful until now this year, there's also been a very good reach out with the Social Security, I shouldn't say this year, we start with the Social Security Medicare Social Safety Network program. And prior to that, and I think it would have been in 2008, Pete Benner from AFL-CIO did a program for us on retirement security. We called it Retirement for the 99%, and we were able to reach out and give that program in many places, both in retiree organizations and in the active employee organizations, where we went to conventions and conferences and gave that program. Now, of course, Pete wouldn't have been available for as many times as we gave it. So this was a program we put together with the Labor Education Service, and we had a video that was broken into a number of segments, and we had trainers that we trained from among our own retiree board, and we would go out and give the program with discussion, and then have Pete on, and then discussion, and then have Pete on, and we've used that same format for educational programs over the years, and it's been an integral part of trying to do the Retiree Council work, is to keep up training on an ongoing basis, but especially when we're trying to motivate people to go out and do some political activity.
My earliest memory of political activities was actually the 1998 campaign, and my job description consisted of 2 words: do something. Do something. And then I was to touch bases every day with the AFL-CIO staff, and then we kind of morphed into distributing flyers. I would call different union presidents and political people and say, hey, we have this wonderful new flyer, can I bring you out 300 of them or 500 of them? And that was my job for the whole campaign. Then we started using the rapid response form, whereas we had a list of people and their telephone numbers, not emails, but telephone numbers, and I would call them to participate in various activities. It was during this time Ray Waldron was president of the Minnesota AFL-CIO, and he said to me, Dan, he said, you have to have a fundraiser to help pay for your activities. So being a good union person, I said, yes, sir. And then I tried to figure out how to put together a fundraiser, and with a good committee, we did that. Then we started having our phone banks starting in St. Paul. And thanks to Bobby Casper, who was doing phone bank duty at the time before he was president of the St. Paul body. And I remember he called me. He said, Dan Michael? I said, yeah. Bobby Casper, how many shifts are you going to take? Is it 2 or 3? And yeah, yes sir. 2. And he said, well, that's on one day. How about another day? So that's how we got started with that. And with that rapid response form that we started with, retirees provide a presence at legislative hearings, press conferences, and we reach out also to our active union brothers and sisters at various work sites as they have concerns. A couple big items recently. The last 3 campaigns, we've conducted a handwritten postcard campaign. We thank admin retired for showing us the way on that project, and under the guidance of Alice Faribault. And admin also provides opportunities. I think last election for about 25 different retirees throughout the state as they carried on political programs, and I was always given a special assignment to work with the Minnesota AFL-CIO retirees and do what was necessary. And finally, I have to mention Minnesota AFL-CIO. The state retirees have a seat at the labor table where the political staffers from a variety of unions are gathered, and as we look at the status of the campaign, what work we have done, what work we have to do at any given time. Retirees are at the labor table. So one constant throughout all of our activities in the last 20 years is we work through Minnesota AFL-CIO.